is a news article off of Newsweek. The title is Donald Trump Pardoning Himself is Being Debated, but is there a precedent for it? The possibility that President Donald Trump could try to pardon himself has become the focus of speculation in the media and on social networking sites in recent days as his administration enters its final weeks. There are no outstanding questions about whether a president has the power to self-pardon, as no precedent exists. If such a pardon could be overturned, and whether it would indicate guilt on his part. On Sunday, CNN political commentator S.E. Cupp weighed in, saying pardon power should be reformed and Trump granting himself clemency would make him look guilty. I don't know about you guys, but if you need to be pardoned for something, maybe you might be guilty for it, especially if you're the one that's asking to be pardoned for it. If the president has designs on running again for president, this would certainly imperil that, and I would think encourage other justice departments to really look at what he has done in office, and if he is tactically admitting he needs to be pardoned for stuff, Cupp said. I'm not sure if this is constitutional or legal, but it seems pretty clear it would be inadvisable for him to do it. Also, on Thursday, CNN commentator Asha Rangappa suggested that a self-pardon might be a risky move. Rangappa, a lawyer and senior lecturer at Yale University Jackson Institute for Global Affairs, said that if the president pardons himself, it could set an unwelcome precedent. I think that it would be incumbent on a future Department of Justice to try to challenge that, because you don't want that to be a precedent, or at least you don't want the Supreme Court to clarify bounds on this. Fox News also discussed the issue on Thanksgiving. Host Julie Banderas and asked Reuters correspondent Jeff Mason if the president could grant himself a pardon. Mason acknowledged that there were a lot of question marks, but ultimately he thought Trump couldn't do so. On Wednesday, Fox Business host Neil Cavuto posed a hypothetical of whether the president can pardon himself to veteran Republican political consultant Karl Rove. He obviously can, but why? Rove said. He would have to admit that there were things he had done that were worthy of being pardoned of. Think about the final note that's going to strike. Again, it is unlimited power, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But whether that would be an appropriate use, whether history would judge that harshly, is another question entirely. In response to Cavuto's points that Trump may be looking to balance those considerations against any legal risk he faces when out of office, Rove added, remember, he can pardon for federal offenses. The thing that the district attorney in Manhattan is looking into are state offenses, which he has no authority over. A governor may be able to issue a pardon for those kind of actions, but the kind of things that the DA in Manhattan are looking at are not federal charges, and therefore he can't pardon himself over those. A Trump self-pardon would be a precedent setting. No president in U.S. history has even attempted to grant themselves clemency. While there's a disagreement among local scholars about the issue, it has never been tested in courts. No American president, including Richard Nixon, has ever attempted to pardon himself. Jeffrey Crouch, assistant professor of American politics at American University, told Newsweek. However, Couch believes the president has the power of self-pardon. Nixon resigned from office in 1974 as a result of the Watergate scandal. He received a pardon from his successor, Gerald Ford, who had served as Nixon's vice president. Brian Seacolt, professor of law at Michigan State University, doesn't believe that Trump can pardon himself. He told Newsweek, "Granting a pardon is something that can only be done from one person to another. Linguistically, both grant and pardon are inherently bilateral." There is a venerable principle in American law that you cannot be the judge in your own case, Colt said. Because no president has tried to pardon himself, there is no legal precedent around the matter. Glenn Kirshner, legal analyst for NBC News and MSNBC, has argued such a pardon could be challenged. If Trump delivers a pardon to stop the participant from providing incriminating information about him, such a pardon would be corrupt and challengeable in court, Kirshner tweeted on November 26th. If Trump pardons himself, that would be corrupt and challengeable in court. Presidential pardons are not unchallengeable. If there is no consensus among legal experts about the ability to change or overturn a presidential pardon, but there's also little precedent on these issues. Ultimately, these questions would be likely decided by the U.S. Supreme Court. Alright, so let's see what the comments have to say. Pardon himself? From what? He hasn't been charged with anything yet. If Biden instructs the DOJ to not pursue, he will lose respect from me and my votes. Too late. On January 20th, Trump becomes a private citizen. Let him abide by the laws of the land, just as you and I are expected. Nixon hadn't been charged with anything either when Ford pardoned him. Mr. Trump, make America proud again. Leave our country and never, never return. This one has a comment of one. You better hope he continues as president. When you realize what the inept, corrupt Harris Biden team could do to the country, you'll be on your knees begging for President Trump to stay. Madame Mill says he can pardon all he wants. It won't keep him safe from the Manhattan District Attorney. Sweet, delicious karma. It's so good. I can't wait for them to rain heck on him. It's gonna be epic. Alright guys, so this news article was brought to you by Newsweek. You can go there and get subscribed to them. I have pop-ups on my computer when they release new stuff. So that's how I got an update to this video. So please make sure to give them some respect. Newsweek right up here. You can find this article within it and read the same thing as I did. You can also find this in my description, as I'm going to be leaving the link and the title in it as well if you guys want to take a look. So yeah, thanks for watching. I really hope you guys appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let me know if you liked my news